Is it just to hold someone responsible for actions they committed under duress? This is a question that has puzzled philosophers, legal experts, and even everyday people for centuries. At its core, it's a question about accountability and culpability in the face of coercion. To answer this question, we first need to define what we mean by duress. Duress is a situation where someone is forced to do something against their will. This can take many forms, from physical violence to psychological manipulation to blackmail. When someone is under duress, their ability to make a free choice is compromised, and they may feel like they have no other option but to comply with their captor's demands. So, is it fair to hold someone accountable for actions committed under duress? Some might argue that it is not, as the person was essentially coerced into acting in a way they might not have otherwise. But others might argue that accountability is important, regardless of the circumstances. After all, if we excuse someone's behavior simply because they were under duress, then where do we draw the line? What if someone claims they were under duress when committing a violent crime? Should they be held accountable for their actions, or should they be let off the hook? One way to approach this question is to look at the legal system. In many countries, the law recognizes the concept of duress as a defense to certain crimes. For example, if someone is forced to rob a bank at gunpoint, they might be able to argue that they were under duress and therefore not fully responsible for their actions. However, this defense is not always accepted, and there are often strict criteria that must be met in order for it to be successful. Another way to approach this question is to look at it from a moral standpoint. If we believe that individuals should be held accountable for their actions, regardless of the circumstances, then it follows that we should hold people responsible for actions committed under duress. After all, the fact that someone was forced into doing something does not change the fact that they still did it. On the other hand, if we believe that individuals should only be held accountable for actions that they freely chose to do, then we might be more inclined to excuse behavior committed under duress. Ultimately, the question of whether it is just to hold someone responsible for actions committed under duress is a complex one with no easy answers. It requires us to grapple with fundamental questions about free will, coercion, and responsibility. What is clear, however, is that this is a topic that will continue to be debated for years to come.